Dr. Bhatia introduced me. Thank you very much for that kind introduction. But he's also given me a mammoth task, which is to cut down my presentation to 15 minutes, which I will try my best to do, and I'll ensure that you get enough time for tea break and conversation with others. So thank you so much for having me here. I'm here really to talk about how do you create an enabling environment for a productive and innovative workforce. Essentially, how do you build great places to work for productive results? Now, business communities today work in a very complex environment. We work within diverse cultures. We work to produce results in a very short period of time. What's needed to make this happen and to ensure that all individuals within an organization deliver to their potential and their best is to ensure that our organizations are diverse and inclusive. However, this isn't very easy to do. It's actually a very, very difficult task. I was speaking to someone earlier today when I came in this morning, and we were speaking about, as HR and D&I practitioners in this space, it's really difficult to get managers to buy in and commit to this. Managers, as you heard earlier from Professor Abraham, sometimes make people miserable. So how do we actually make managers part of this process and provide them with the skill sets and the commitment to create inclusive workplaces? And this is what I'm here to share with you today. Before I do that, I'd like to talk a little bit about community business and the work we do. So we're a nonprofit organization, as Dr. Bhatia said. We were established in 2003 with a mission to lead, inspire, and support businesses to make a positive impact on communities and their workplaces. We are a thought leader in the space of diversity and inclusion. We work with many companies across Asia on this topic. We have a lot of research that we do in this space, which is really where we get our thought leadership from, and I'll share a little bit with you about that later. We are an Asian organization based in India. We work across Asia. We work in Japan, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and of course, here in India. I'd like to give you a snapshot of some of the companies that we work with. These are member companies here in India. We have a network here in India called the Diane India Network. These are the member companies. They really are pioneering in this space. They come together to talk about these issues and to find solutions to the challenges that they're facing internally. So if you see any of these companies here today, which you will, go ahead and speak to them and really hear what they're doing internally, because they're doing some fascinating work. So, what does diversity and inclusion have to do with business? Why does it matter to business? Let me share that with you. Indian workplaces today, as a lot of research has suggested, is currently very disengaged and not motivated. I'd like to share some stats with you. 54% of employees in India were considering leaving their current positions. This was in 2011, a couple of years ago. Another stat, 91% of Indian employees are either not engaged or actively disengaged. We heard earlier from Professor Abraham that if you have half of your employees not engaged, you've lost millions. When you have 91% of your employees disengaged and actively disengaged, my guess is you've just lost billions. A more recent study in 2014 showed that dissatisfaction levels among employees in India have increased from 2009. These are staggering information and shocking information that tells us our workforces aren't exactly very happy, and because they're not happy, they're probably not delivering to their highest potential.